The Coca-Cola company is the world's largest beverage company, refreshing consumers with more than 500 sparkling and still beverage brands. We try to bring our core values of passion and commitment to our work every step of the way, bringing us closer to becoming the best sales and distribution company of consumer products in India. We bring such values to every sphere and aspect of our company, right down to each of our plants. One such plant is Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverage Company, Dasna. We strongly follow safety norms and uphold the ideals of effective governance and profitability while executing our business transactions. Let me introduce you to the norms that we should follow. Let's start with the loading procedure. Here we see the loading process being performed. Vehicle loaded basis information written on piece of paper. Vehicle loaded by the driver. Independent count has not been performed by the checker basis pick list. Driver having access to the warehouse. Driver's independent count has not been performed basis an invoice. Driver and checker performed independent count but not signed off the invoice and pick list respectively. Did you see what happened? Loading basis a piece of paper, driver having access to the warehouse, absence of independent count were not the right things to do. Let me show you the right procedure. The vehicle must be loaded basis a pick list generated by the system and has to be loaded by a loader or a picker. After the completion of the loading, the pick list must be signed by the loader. Independent count must be performed by the checker who was not involved in the billing process. Driver must not have access to the warehouse stock. The checker must sign the pick list as an acknowledgement and submit the same to shipping. After checker's count, the independent count is performed by the driver and has to sign on the invoice. After independent count, the vehicle moves for blind count process. Let us see what follows the loading procedure. Depot accountant in case of DSD or shipping supervisor in the case of DC and plant has not selected the vehicle for blind count and allowed the vehicle for tarpaulin process. Vehicle is identified for blind count, but the same is communicated to drivers and fruit salesmen. Details of blind count performed, but not maintained in the logbook. Blind count performed and differences identified, but not documented anywhere, despite which the vehicle is allowed to proceed for tarpaulin or gate exit without any action being taken. Did you see what happened? Blind count was not performed or performed inappropriately and has resulted in non-compliance with the checkout policy. What we expect is that the vehicle must be identified for blind count as per the policy and appropriate procedures must be followed. Here is the list of the procedures to be followed. A total of 10% of vehicles leaving from the location are to be selected for blind count by depot accountant or shipping supervisor. route salesman and driver must not be made aware of the vehicle selected for blind count. Checker or another independent person is required to perform the blind count for the selected vehicles. A pack-wise blind count must be performed by checker or another independent person. Post performing the count sheet should be submitted to security personnel at the gate or shipping supervisor, who will cross-check the blind count with the customer invoice to determine accuracy. In case of discrepancy, details to be sent to depot accountant, commercial finance manager or warehouse manager for further investigation. Discrepancies noted during blind counts must be resolved before allowing the vehicle for gate exit. After loading and blind count performed, blind count for selected vehicles, the truck moves for tarpaulin process. Let us see what follows the blind count. Security did not check the signed fit list and invoice submitted by checker and driver. Truck allowed for tarpaulin process without performing pack-wise count as required by local policy. This was not the right way of doing the tarpaulin process. Tarpaulin process should have been executed in a designated area away from the loading and warehouse area. This must be done after a pack-wise count gets performed by the security. After tarpaulin process, the vehicle moves for gate exit. Here, let's see what is happening. Allowing the truck to pass for gate exit without following adequate procedures is not the right thing to do. Security allowed the vehicle to exit without recording the details of invoice in manual gate exit register. The security personnel is in the process of checking, but he overlooks the driver's cabin and the space beneath the truck. Security personnel entered the details in manual gate exit register but missed to click gate exit in FMS system. Security personnel clicked the gate exit in system but missed to enter details in manual gate exit register or entered partial or incorrect information in manual gate exit register. Details are entered in manual gate exit register, but in the FMS system, the gate exit click is performed after a long time. In FMS, gate exit click is performed, but corresponding details in manual gate exit register is entered after a long time. In manual gate exit register, the details have been entered twice at different point of time. In case invoice detail don't appear in FMS system, security personnel ignored and allowed vehicle to go out. Did you see what happened? Allowing the truck to pass for gate exit without following adequate procedures is not the right thing to do. The gate security should check the paperwork and inspect the vehicle for gate exit. We expect our staff to note down details such as vehicle number, invoice number, and date and time. These should be correctly entered in the manual gate exit register. After that, security personnel immediately click on FMS system to perform gate exit in the system as well. Only after performing both the activities should the vehicle be allowed to exit. In case invoice or vehicle details do not appear in FMS system, the security personnel must immediately communicate the lapse to shipping team so that appropriate action can be taken. We are a completely compliant organization and we strongly believe that following the right procedures sets us on the right path. We like to give the best we can to our customers, and that can only happen if employees at all levels do their work to the best of their ability. And we want everyone to come to work with that in mind.